morning to you. I'm up so early. I woke up at 5 and couldn't go back to sleep. So I did some chores around the house, uploaded my videos, and here I am now. I am, you guys. 5 o'clock, I went to the bathroom, and then I was like, well, shit. Laid in bed for about 15 minutes. I couldn't fall back asleep, so I got up. Yep. Isn't that what normal people do? I don't know. I don't think so. Am I normal? I couldn't even get a hat. I didn't want to wake Dan up. So, good thing I do loads a day. You like it early? I like it early. I didn't want to wake Dan up. No. Who wants to release the bear? Nobody. Wake up the bear, poke the bear. Nope. I'm good, Kay. Get it, girl. I was productive yesterday. I did my pasture. I sprayed weeds again. I did some weeding in my backyard. I cleaned my carpet where Ed sits because it's a yucky mess. I did my order for my Sam's Club for tomorrow. What else did I do? I paid my bills last night. Like I was on a roll. So today's cupping. Today, hey Stephen. Today, I'm gonna meet my friend. I think I got a reminder for lunch. My sprinkler man's coming today, so I even moved the shit so he could get there. Well, I didn't think it through yesterday. I should have done it yesterday, but I don't know what happened. So I was like, I was gonna do it. I was like, I needed you guys to see, for those of you, because you guys, not everybody cross-contaminates. Where? What? You're gonna bring her back here? Hold on. Bluetooth. Hold on. Well, it would have been way better had motherfuckers. Yeah, so anywho, Dan is going to pick up Joanne right now. I don't know where they're going, but she said she's feeling weird. So yeah, but I should have posted it yesterday, B. Had I posted it yesterday, then it would have been better, but I didn't anticipate how good it was gonna do, and it was like a last minute thing, and I wanted you guys to see it and see what you thought. I know. I heard the phone ring when I walked out. The hemp by Nigerian, I know. I didn't catch the blueberry thing like you guys did. He had to tell me, Danielle, there's a key word in there. So Joanne's been feeling like, I think, well, I don't know, but lately I think she's worried like her memory's going. So she's like 87, 88, how old is she? 5 years younger than Ed. So she is 87, and she's been calling Dan bitching, like my memory's going, it's just something's not right. But I mean, how many of us walk around and forget the basic stuff, right? Because our minds are so occupied. And I think she's just hyper-focusing. Okay, Jess. And so, I don't know. So she's been really upsetting her lately because she typically is sharp as a tack, And so I guess she's not feeling good. So, anywho, you guys remember tapping is clapping on TikTok? Thumbs up for the YouTube. So yeah, so I don't know what's going on with her. She says she feels funny. So Dan's going over there assessing. Hi, B. Fraser. What's going on? This is what happens, you know, when your parents are aging, you know. You have to, there's only several of them that are there. Mark, I don't know, maybe she didn't get a hold of Mark. So she called Dan at TV preview. I do that shit all the time, especially when driving. And I'm like, who am I? Where am I? And how did I get here? I don't think so. It's different. It's not like, I think hers is more age related than that. Could I end up taking care of both of them? I don't think she would want to live in the same house as Ed. No. She, unlike, you know, most people, have a hard time with him. He's difficult. He's not easy. And, you know, I think it would be hard for her. Oh, Mike, I know. It happens all the time. The shitty comments. So no, I don't think she would live here. I don't think she would live here unless Ed wasn't here. I would totally take care of her. Joanne is fine for me. Like, I enjoy her company. So 2 of them would be difficult because, again, it's absorbing that negative energy, right? She'd be bitching at Ed. Dan would be bitching all together. And then I absorb it all, and then it makes my job harder. So it's just, no, couldn't happen. Not with both. Anyway, Diane, I'm sweating right now. My menopause is getting the best of me. So today my sprinkler guy is coming. I have to leave for cupping. I'm so excited for cupping because my traps are on fire. So I moved out everything so he could work. I would really like to clean up my garage a little bit. It's just hard when you're under construction and nothing's done yet. You know what I mean? Shitballs. Anywho, so yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go to lunch. I told you with my friend right after. I always get Chipotle after my cupping. So she's gonna meet me there. We're gonna catch up and then I'll be home. So that's my day. And then nothing else for the rest of the week. Honestly, it's supposed to get colder. We have one more nice day today, and then it's supposed to get colder and rain. I love Chipotle too. And Chrissy, I think I'm gonna get the burrito. I woke up thinking, ooh, I want a burrito. You know what I mean? Yep. So, anywho, cupping doesn't really help. It's more injury, right? It's more injury, like stress. My traps take the beating with my stress. So muscle relief, yep. Injuries, yes. And yes. Chris, B, it's a Mexican restaurant that is supposed to be all fresh that we have here in the States. Tiger Balm. It sure helps on the bean. She saw, GSR's like, Tiger Balm's great. You know, for the shoulders, the neck, your sinuses. And if you want that extra tingle, we'll just dibby dab right on the bean. You know what I mean? I don't recommend it for your lips, these or those. Yeah, I love it. So one time, Hannah accidentally thought it was chapstick. I love Tiger Balm smell. I do. Jennifer used to love that for soccer. So, yeah. Do not put it on either lips or the vein. Problems. Not good. Hannah one time put it on and she's like, What is this? Why do my lips feel like this? Fuck. Well, honey, you just put on, yeah, tiger bomb. Abort. Too late. Who told you to put the bomb on? Sign off. Yeah, it's not. Chrissy, you said 3 steps up from Taco Bell. There's no comparison between the two. In a speck of it. They believe it cleanses the system. We'll try it, GSR, and let me know. I need a little cleansing inside. You know what I mean? I'm a little dirty and naughty. Just in my head, though. Yeah, the Taco Bomb, I love it. I love it. So what else is going on today? Anybody doing anything fun on this Tuesday? It's Tuesday! It's Tuesday! You know what that means? It's our day. It's the day of the woman. The day of the motherfucking Sab. The day of the good women, not the bad ones. You know what I mean? We don't celebrate the bad, negative Nellies out there. We celebrate the women who try. We celebrate the women who want to make a difference, who want to change their lives, who want to change their journey and make it a better place for everyone. Their kids, their family, but most importantly, themselves. So here is the most important rule to become the badass bitch you are, or you want to be. Don't do it for anybody else. You do it for yourself. You do it for yourself, right? You have to remember that. We don't do things to please others. We do things to please ourselves. And that's the only way you will evolve as a human. Everything else just kind of falls in place when you start owning up to your shit. When you start realizing that you too can be a better person. But you also have to want to, right? You have to spread more kindness and love than hate, right? Negativity. Let's try to help as much as we can with projecting. Now, I still can be negative, right? That doesn't go away. But the best you can do is the best you can do. And try. And learn from our mistakes. Learn from our choices. And learn to be better. That is what a sob is. The true definition of a strong ass bitch is that. Somebody who recognizes, somebody who's aware, somebody who's trying to make a difference. Now, we aren't perfect, and by no means do we think we are, because the truth is, no one is. And there is something poking me in my shoe. I'm hoping it's not a spider. Do you ever get worried, ow, that not only could you fall and hurt yourself while you're doing this on a treadmill, but, when you have shoes outside, the more I'm running, the more I'm feeling pricked, the more I'm a little worried. Now, I hope I don't fall and hurt myself, but I think we are good. I don't think there was any monsters or insects in my shoes. I try to keep everything high, tight, and so I think we all good. You just tie it up and get back to trekking. Get back to trekking. Warm pickies. Warm pickers scare me, especially in shoes. Yeah, little things are inside shoes sometimes. Oh, yay. So, anywho, today I finished my book, The Little Life. I finished it yesterday. I started the beach read. Samantha, I think, last night told me she had gone into 4 chapters. So I'm about there. Started a little bit last night to unwind. Your girl was crazy last night. Your girl was on a mission. She got a lot of shit done, and I feel proud of it. So, still doesn't matter what time I click her and she's running. Only in the morning. Today is my last day. You obviously did not finish the video. Y'all, come on. Be better. You always get caught in a pickle when you don't finish the video. So, here's a little fun fact. So that video, the TikTok, you saw it yesterday on April Fool's. YouTube, you're seeing it today just because I thought you would enjoy it. So I logged on to my account this morning to post the video. Guess what was banned? Guess what was banned? You got it right. The video from yesterday. The one you guys are seeing today. Banned harassment and bullying. Harassment and bullying. I laughed. I giggled. I appealed it. And I won. So I did get, thanks Misty, I did get the video back. Now, why do you ask? Why did the video get taken down for community violations? Well, what I'm going to tell you is it takes trolls. It takes trolls to report, unless you're doing something completely wrong. But, you know, TikTok has, you know, ways. But I wasn't. Nobody knew. I was making an announcement. You know what I mean? So, trolls. Trolls. Proof and point how they have nothing better to do in their life. Haters gonna hate. But what they don't realize is that this game of social media, oh shit, is that they make us rise. They make us stronger, most of us, and they make us want to stomp on all y'all. You know what I mean? All the hate, all the meanness. Thank you for your views. Thank you for trying. And thank you for once again showing me how much you care. You know what I mean? Thank God I got it back. Sometimes you don't win them, but I literally did nothing wrong in that video. Somebody or many people are just butthurt. My guess, it's the miserable people up there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Melissa, today is just Danielle couldn't sleep anymore. Danielle couldn't sleep anymore. And my sprinkler guy is coming about 9. So I woke up giggling because you can't help but laugh at people's own misery and projection. Dan did not leave me. Y'all, are you really that clueless? Y'all who continue to say that, y'all, watch the video. Don't look for 1 second or 2 seconds. You're not gonna have the answers and you're gonna look like an idiot. I thought Dan left you. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Good morning, Starlet. Yeah, I mean, you guys. Dan, first of all, would never leave me. The only way Dan would leave me is if I cheated on him. And this bitch has no time to cheat, right? I got no time to cheat. He keeps me busy around here. You know what I mean? He keeps me busy. He attaches me to his dad. He attaches me to the house. I can't leave. I can't do anything. I think that's why he keeps me locked up. So I can't have time to cheat. Hi, Rick. I never thought about that. Shit. Is that why he doesn't help me? Sorry. I don't know how. Sometimes, Dan might be an ass sometimes. Most of the time. But he is still a good guy. Is that possible? Is that possible? Yeah, wasn't that funny? Mary Blueberry. I didn't even get the blueberry part. He's like, Danielle, listen. He was telling me about it. It was the funniest thing. I had come home. And he was like, are you ready for the video tomorrow? We're letting the world know. And I was like, what are you talking about? So he told me the story. I was like, what, are you having a stroke? What are you talking about? I had no idea. And he's laughing. He thinks he's the funniest thing since sliced bread. And I'm like, I'm kind of concerned. Oh, you are right. Stick your tongue out. Recite the ABCs. He's like laughing. And I wasn't getting it. I wasn't getting it. So then he had to tell me, Danielle, what's tomorrow? April 1st. Oh. And what's so funny about that? What was so funny about that? He's like, Mary Blueberry. I was like, that's stupid. That's stupid. Hi, Heather. I know. I was excited. Yes. So, some woman, I giggled so hard last night. And Dan was so mad at me. But I'm like, now you know how I feel, right? I get hate all day long. People are always bashing me, running me over, backing up, running me, going forward, backing up. And it's like repeat cycle. And I'm like, what? Pay no mind. Pay no mind. Okay? Pay no mind, motherfucker. So some lady yet put, I giggled so hard. Dan doesn't get a ton of hate, right? And occasionally you have the women on YouTube and TikTok that just are like, he's an ass. You know, you spoiled him, whatever. So this woman was like, I was so excited for you that he finally left you. I thought for once you're gonna be free. And I giggled so hard. She was serious. I giggled so hard. And Dan was like, I read it to my Zoomies. They laughed. And Dan was like, I don't think that's funny. Oh, you don't? I do. I think it's funny. Because there are people that don't like you. Like me. You get a laugh out, you were invincible. I thought it didn't bother you. What's the matter? It bothers you? Oh. Misty. Right? Oh, now you're saying it bothers you. You don't find that funny. I find the humor in that. Oh, let me just go on my video and read your negative comments. Bruh, I see them every day. Multiple. You don't need to read any of them to me. But once in a while, it's a release for me to know that there are people out there that don't like you either. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Now, and he react like that. My Zoomies would tell you. He got all bent out of shape. They were laughing. Because it's true. When you don't get the hate, right? When you don't get the hate or you don't see it because it's minuscule, it's hard to feel a certain way. But when I read the little bit, like the minuscule amount that Dan gets on my page, it tickles me pink. Now, that was a funny comment, I thought. Not so much on Dan. Dan didn't like it, but you know, there's women who are brutal. And there's women that are just relentless. I mean, we know that. And I don't find every comment funny. But that one struck my fancy. I don't know. He's always laughed at by the Zoomies. Dan gets pissed. Everybody. Everybody. Leave Dan some last comments. Oh, shit. Anywho, it made me giggle. I laughed so hard last night. People just laughed because I was laughing. Dan even almost laughed because I was laughing so hard. Linda Davey hates Dan. Now, Linda Davey is the #1 Dan hater on YouTube. That is for sure. Misty, you're giving me so many colorful gifts this morning. Lindy Davy is a Dan hater. Like, if she was out in public and saw Dan, I'd almost be worried that she would trample him. Now, she's always telling me to leave him. She's always telling him he's a piece of shit. But it's kind of like, yeah, I leave her on because secretly it makes me feel better. Secretly, it makes me feel a little bit better. So I leave her there. She would be down with the shoe. Is that bad of me? Some women stick up for men. Most women, June, stick up for Dan. But this Linda Davy, she does not like Dan. She thinks I could do better. Maybe. She thinks that he doesn't do enough. Accurate. She thinks everything. But I know, but I kind of like her there. I kind of like her there. It makes me feel better. She gives me a boost. That's right, Linda. You tell him. You tell him, girl. What? Claudette, it might happen. Linda may want me. I don't know. So I have admitted, because people are like, why don't you get rid of her? I mean, you know how easy that would be. But I almost like her. I almost like her for making me. Maybe she secretly wants Dan. Maybe she secretly wants Dan. And so she's trying to get me to leave. Maybe it's reverse psychology. Shit. He doesn't get right. She's an alpha male. You're right. Nug, you're right. I'm not gonna get rid of her. He doesn't get rid of my trolls and bitches at me when I do it. Video it. Claudette. You know, Dan is a good guy, but he has so many qualities that aren't becoming. I would like for once to see you throat punch his motherfucking ass. And please record it for our pleasure. Claudette, there's not a second that goes by every day with a lie that I don't think about that. Or think about karate chopping him and his balls, jamming a finger up his ass, you know. Yeah. Starlet, I think I'm an assholery. He's an asshole. I think so. I think so. Donna is better than nothing. No, not a kinky way. More of a ramrod way, which is not fulfilling. You know what I mean? Hi, Darren. We're just talking about Dan's hate. You know what I mean? My dysfunction. Dysfunction, function. What's your dysfunction? Everything. Yeah, I'm very dysfunctional. And I have weird thoughts just like everybody else. That's the problem. Yeah. Todd. Claudette wants to see the throat punch. Todd wants me to show the finger up the arse. Okay. New content coming soon. So, you know, I want to normalize the thoughts that go through our heads. Everybody's like, I would never say that. Kiki, can I watch later since? No, I don't know. I don't have the answer. I know YouTube records them. July 13th, yep. July 13th is our anniversary. 27 years. Not a man out there that will back up a strong female. I think some do. I think some men, it's just like saying all women suck, right? Not all women suck. Well, that's true too. That's a multifaceted statement. Some women are good mothers, some aren't. You know what I mean? So Some men, I think, are very supportive of their strong women. You're 40? Darren, I'm gonna be 50 in May. Shit. What am I doing? I'm picking blueberries on the blueberry farm in Nigeria. Yeah. Shut up. Oh, Sarah, take your own advice, girl. Get off the social media pages. If you don't like what you see, get the fuck off. I just pictured Danny holding Danielle. There you have it. Oh my God, that is funny. I gotta do that. There you have it, fucker. For all the assholery you give me, here's a finger for it. Plug it up. Now lick it. Lick it good. Ba-na-na-na-na. Lick that butt. Ba-na-na-na-na. A finger should do it. That was funny. Rebecca, I'm tired. I'm tired. The people on the internet, some of them, just don't have a brain. You know what I mean? Yeah. A blueberry farm in Nigeria. It's not a new thing. What are you doing? Picking blueberries on Mary Berry's farm. Blueberry farm in Nigeria. What you doing? Would you like some Nigerian blueberries? I'll send them for you. My college girls. Jennifer's broke. She needs money. Hannah is doing fine, waiting for her acceptances. And Andrew, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's not a girl, but I feel like he's one of my kids, so I need to inform you of his plight. Apparently he's quit his job. No more construction for him. He is tired. He's tired. He's worn out at 19. He's overworked, and he's tired of waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So he's quit his job. The 24th of April. He's done. Yep. He doesn't have a job to follow it up. My cousin's son is coming a week before we go to Cabo. He's spending a week with us, Ben, and then he's coming to Cabo with us, and then he's flying back home after Cabo. So yes, Andrew quit. Yeah. So he spends money, let me tell you, about like it's going out of style. Every month, I finally got tired of asking him for money he owes me from all the games and shit. And I just took money last night. It's attached to my, I said, by the way, you're missing $400. I am how? I took it. I got tired of asking. He's like, well, let me remember to take your name off. So he spends like $400 a month, sometimes $5, on these stupid games, you know? So anyhow, so there's that. And he just wastes money, you know? So I don't know how he's gonna do that because he makes decent money. So there's that problem. And, you know, he's like, I'm like, you know, you spend money like it's going out of style. He just throws it, you know? And I'm like, what are you gonna do? He's like, I won't spend it. Yeah, right. So that was last month's money he owed me, $400. And that's rough. That's not even a complete accurate, but I'm figuring $400. And then this month I haven't even computed that. But I'm just gonna say rough estimates. I'm taking rough estimates. You know, if I contribute a little bit, whatever. But yeah, let me tell you. Yeah, all the time. And he spends so much money. He doesn't realize it. And because we're on a family share plan, you know, it just charges the account. So he doesn't always see what he does. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot, you guys. It's a lot. He says he's going back to school. So, I don't know. He said he wants to go back to school. He wants to work in a guitar shop. And let me go pee-pee. I'll be right back. And to make sure Grandpa's not up. Whew. So anyway, he wants to work in a guitar shop. I want to do something I enjoy. And I said, Andrew, the way life works is technically you should get a job before you quit your job, right? You should get a job before you quit your job. But you know what? He'll have to figure it out. Oh, Donna, it is. It's really pretty here in the mornings, especially with the sun. I went pee-pee. I had to go pee-pee. So I love my neighborhood in the early mornings. These types of mornings, you know, the spring type mornings. So he's gonna have to figure it out. You know, I don't even ask him, right? I don't ask how much he saved. I don't ask him any of that stuff because he has to figure it out, honestly. I love my lot, Donna, I really do. I think everybody did, Darren. But he'll figure it out. He's still young. Sorry, Susie. The porch or the garage. I know. I promised his money to Hannah for her graduate school. Look. He's a great man. He's a sweet young man, right? He's got a lot of great. I couldn't have asked for a better son. You know, he's very compassionate. He's very empathetic. He's caring. He's got a lot of love in his heart, and he's not a mean person. There's so many kids out there who are fucked up for whatever reason, you know, whatever their brain has dictated to them, whether or not they were abused verbally, mentally, whatever, sexually. Kids have trauma in their lives. It could be a simple smack for a punishment, you know. And he doesn't. Andrew is so like, he reminds me of my mom. He's so like, it's not that big of a deal. You know, nothing is that big of a deal to him. Everything is like, he doesn't hold grudges against people. You know, his sister's such a jerk to him. And he still gives her shit. You know, he loves his family. And I'm always getting mad at him, like, stop. He takes her out to dinner because she's broke. And he'll drop everything for them. And I love that. He's a good kid. He's really a good kid. He doesn't overreact. Once in a while he does. But I mean, I think it's a great quality to have, especially going through some of the, you know, the journey he has with his disease. Everything was just like, it is what it is, right? We'll figure it out. I'm like, what? No! That's not how we handle things. We freak out. We overreact. We don't say it is what it is. The fuck is wrong with you? But he's like that. He's always been calm. He's a great kid. I don't know how he came out so peaceful in my body. I don't know. Yeah, he's not drama at all. He's not drama. He's the easiest guy, even with his friends. I used to get so mad at him because his friends would bully him. Now they don't really bully him anymore because he's much bigger than them all. But he's like, it doesn't matter. They're my friends. They love me. What the fuck? They need to be punched in the nose. They're jerks to you. Don't let them take away your sunshine, son. Mom, it's not that serious. And they still give him shit. He makes fun of himself. I mean, I'm telling you, out of all my kids, he is an anomaly. He is an anomaly. He reminds me more of my mom's side of the family. My mom and my dad's side of the family. Hi, Christine. It's really interesting. But no, he's a great kid. I mean, all my kids are great, but he's really like non-Salinger. Like Hannah and Jennifer. Jennifer is, Sandra wants to farm. He probably would be a rancher. Hannah's me, right? Hannah's more me. Jennifer she's got a little bit of me mixed in, but she is primarily Salinger. She hates when you tell her that, but it's the facts. I can't change it. It's just her DNA. She's an asshole. She's not as empathetic as my other two. She primarily is self-focused, which is a Salinger. But then, you see a little bit of me in her, and then I'm like, come on, pull through. You can do it. Come on, Danielle. Get a little bit more prevalent in there. You can do it. Come on, let her through, Jen. Let her through. Hi, Teresa. And Hannah is just all me. She's all me with a little bit, a dash of Salinger. A dash. Jennifer's all Salinger with a dash of Danielle. Andrew's, I don't know what the fuck happened. I was blessed. Shit. And Hannah's all mama, for the most part. Oh, I look at her and I'm like, almost. She's still a little bit more reserved. She claims it's because it's me. So, yes, Jennifer will make a good lawyer, for sure. She is like, I'd be scared to go up against Jennifer. And I'm her mother. I don't have a favorite. All my kids are my favorite. I think as moms, right, we all have, the oldest one is going to be, yes. Hannah's going to be the psychiatrist, or the therapist. Jennifer's going to be the attorney, and God knows what Andrew's going to do. Love somebody and be a good husband. No, Jennifer's the anti-social media shit, but she puts her hand out, Yeah, Jennifer's like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to share in your successes, but I'm broke and I need more money. Well, the money that's tainted with your inability to support our social media adventures, you mean that money, the tainted money. She gets mad when I say that. I'm like, I just want her to appreciate it, I want her to appreciate it. And she doesn't. She just fights us. So she's so anti-social media, but wants the money from it. And well, I'm going to enable her. I just give it to her. Small three, I know there's no favorite, just different. Yes. My love is all the same, honestly. I don't, different times, I think I favor certain kids more because the other ones are being jerks or driving me insane. But my love is the same. I could never have a favorite. Dan does. I think Dan does. I think Dan has a favorite, for sure. When Jennifer played soccer, she was the favorite. But I really think he is really, I think he's more partial to Andrew. He won't say it, but I think it's Andrew. Because Andrew's a special kid. He's really a special kid. Both, they're all great kids, right? They just all have their personality flaws. Dan's favorite would be one of the girls. Nope. When I said anything for money, we were talking about the Mike Tyson. Oh, Chris, not a big deal. I probably wouldn't even remember it was you. I think it's Andrew. I think he does. He has a special place in his heart. Maybe it's because of the disease. I don't know. He's a sweet kid. He's sweet to Dan's mom. Hannah's really sweet. Jennifer also makes an initiative to go see her. She's changed a lot. She has made, as she ages, she does get softer on certain things, but she's still a hard-ass bitch, man. But when she breaks through and she has a good time, all is well. But when you piss her off, watch out. Watch out. Yes. But I really do. My kids always say, well, and Brittany, it's so funny because the girls say that too. The girls are like, we know mom's favorite is Andrew. She does the most for him. I'm like, can you give me some benefit of the doubt? Like, my kid got sick during a pandemic. He's got a lifelong disease. So it doesn't mean I love him more, right? So is Andrew. Andrew's a snuggle bunny, and he's a little chunky. Just in a bigger form, not little anymore. Oh, no, Chris. I don't remember everybody. Maybe, I mean, it's coming back, but I didn't honestly see your name. So, Andrew's my little chunky monkey at 19, almost 20. He does love being with his mama. So it's funny because the girls always tease him. They're like, lightweight. I think mom hopes he doesn't find a girl because she wants Andrew to live with her for the rest of his life. It's like the whole thing. And I'm like, you guys are sick. You know, dad's gonna die and Andrew and mom are gonna sleep in the same room. I'm like, you guys, yes, let's get bunk beds. So it's a big joke. Andrew's like, that's right. I'm not leaving my mom. He plays along with it. I said, there's nothing wrong if he doesn't find someone and he stays home with mommy. I will always take care of him. They're like, it's disgusting, Mom. You should want better. You should want more for him. Don't encourage his ineptitude. Shut up. They're just jealous. They are. Because they think I didn't do the same thing to them. You know, Hannah, the middle child, right? Oh, I never got anything. Oh, you didn't love me. I was always forgotten. Jennifer was always in the spotlight. Yeah, because she played soccer. I felt like I had to be Jennifer for you to see me. Fuck. And then Andrew came. And then Andrew comes. He's your only boy. Once again, Openness has forgotten. Jen and Andrew. Try living in those shadows. Gosh. Well, one son graduated college with honors. Oh, nice, Donna. Yeah, who knows, you know. I don't know why, so sometimes it's hard to pay attention to chat. Good for you, Starlet. Yeah, Hannah, always the middle child syndrome. Always, well, nobody remembers me. I'm here. The one that looks like mom. The one that nobody cares about. So here's the thing. Sometimes the middle children are more sufficient, right, than the oldest and the youngest. Oh, Big Joe. And Hannah, I think, learned from Jennifer's inadequacies growing up, right? So Hannah was like, I'm like, I get yelled at, but you're the one who was like, oh, hi, Frogman. I mean, you're the one who bitched. You're like, well, I don't want my mom to do that. So I get in trouble because you decided not to be incapable like Jennifer was, you know? So she gets mad at me. She's like, well, I didn't want you to work harder because I know you were already doing so much. So I just did things myself. Yes, but now you're blaming me because you took on that role. I did the same thing, Jean. I did the same thing. Hi, Matthew. So I'm like, it's funny how their minds work, right? You did that. I would have done the same thing for you that I did for Jennifer. I enabled Jennifer as well. I would have enabled you. She was right, but I didn't want to be enabled. I said, right, but then you blame me for not enabling, right? Make up your mind. Do you want to be enabled or did you not? But you can't come back years later and say, well, I wanted to be enabled. But I did it for you because I cared about you, but you still forgot about me. No, it's because I didn't have to worry as much because you did it. Didn't mean I didn't love you any less. For Christ's sake, Lord, These kids come back with all sorts of shit, y'all. Just be prepared. If they haven't already, they're coming for you. They're coming for your jugular. They're coming for your heart. They're pulling at your strings, and they're trying to tell you what kind of crappy parent you were. But I still love you, Mom. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love you too, bitch. I can't win. And as parents, just remember, you will never win. You know? You will never win. I think they live to punish us. I think they're here to tell us everything we did wrong. You know, I told you guys for a long time, I was dancing around thinking I was the best parent on the planet. I was like, how did they get to be so lucky to have me, right? I was a badass mom. Well, until one day we had a little chit chat in the kitchen, you know? And then they told me everything I did wrong. What? Huh? You mean I'm not the best parent ever? No, Mom, we love you, but this is why we didn't tell you these things, because, you know, you made us feel guilty and stuff. Oh, so what you're saying is, it was my fault that you didn't. Pretty much. Got it. But did you know I was a single parent? Your dad was busy, right, for building a firm. He worked all the time. He left me alone. Mom, we know Dad wasn't there. We're not saying we don't love you any less. We're saying that there are things you could have been better at, but you weren't. But we don't judge you for your situation. And thank God we had you. You're right. That's my point. As I get mad. Okay, Samantha, I started reading it. I'm in to like 4 chapters-ish. It's a little slow, but I'm kind of peaked. My interest is kind of peaked, because you know they're going to get it on. You know her rival and her are going to get it on. So I'm a little peaked. I'm a little interested. It's going to get better. I promise you. But I don't think it's horrible. Yeah, I gave you. Yeah. I'm waiting for the tingles. Tingles are coming. I believe it. Yeah, I don't know. We can't win. Oh, did anybody? No. I need the tingles too. I don't remember who the author is. Samantha, do you remember who the author is? They accuse and abuse. They do. That's all right. They know. I think they really know. Hi, Tamara. How are you? So it is what it is, you guys. I just take it in stride and still think that I was the best parent ever. Consider the source, you know what I mean? Dan was wherever, and it was just me taking care of 3 kids. I was like a single mom with a bank account, you know what I mean? I did my due diligence, I did my work, and I did my time. Hey, Hecka. I know, it's a beautiful morning, is it not? Emily Henry, Pam. Emily Henry. Thank you, girl. I don't remember. Anywho, that's about it. That's about my fun. Kids suck, right? Until they provide you with the greatest gifts they can. Grandchildren. And then they get sad because we pay more attention to the grandkids than them. So what's going to happen with that? You know what I mean? What's going to happen with that? Are they going to be thankful that we're giving the attention to their kids, or are they going to be jealous because we're giving the kids more attention than them? They confuse me so much. It's so fun, GSR. Hannah has my facial expressions. My sons are the best things I've ever done. Oh, I love that. My kids expect. Andrew's the only one that doesn't expect, really. Kind of, but not really, because he makes his own money. But, teamwork. Is that what it is? I don't think it's really teamwork, per se. I think it's like 80-20. You know what I mean? House, kids, just work. That's 20%. I did 80%. I still do 80%. I think I do 90%. I do 90%. Yeah, you're nicer to them. Yeah, I know that's coming. Well, you didn't do that for me. You didn't get me that. What the hell? Hannah is me. My son always says, take it up with the manufacturer. That's funny. Igram, 2 in heaven. I adore mine. I know. You know how I am with my niece and my nephews, right? His second tattoo is going to be something for me. So Andrew, I think it's really cute. My stepson and his wife bring the grandkids over and they sleep while we watch the kids. I'm gonna go nuts. And you know how I am with my niece and nephews, right? I love them. They're like my world. They are my life. And I can't wait to see them every weekend. That's the only thing sometimes that keeps me going. Well, and the fact that my kids will eventually have kids. And then getting out of the house, you know, as a little break. You know what I mean? Tamara, thank you. But poor Dan. You know, here's the thing. Bye, Samantha. Have a good one. Don't get trampled by those heathens, you know? I had a brain fart. Oh, kids. No, was I on something else? I'm on everybody's life. You better appreciate it. You better love it. And you better thumbs me up. Y'all looking pretty sad over here. 237 people and only 31 likes. Y'all 10,000 likes over here. Y'all need to get to work. Yeah, I can't wait. I hope I live long enough, you guys. I'm so paranoid of dying early because it just seems like that's just the way life goes for me and my family. Are we talking about Dan? Hold on. Oh, yeah. That was what we're talking about. So, really quick. Here's the thing. Dan, he always can go, right? I mean, he chooses not to go. Yes, it's harder work to bring Grandpa, right? To move him and all that stuff. But he can go. We just have to take 2 cars. And then but he chooses not because he doesn't want to do that, right? So don't think for 1 minute he's never not invited. He just chooses to stay home with Grandpa because it's easier. No, he hasn't left for Nigeria yet. Shit, I'm waiting on bated breath. So he chooses not to go because really the easiest thing to not do is not go. And it's harder for Grandpa, so always plays the martyr, always. Because I think he gets insensitive. No, I think he gets insecure because people are always like, well, Danielle does a lot, you know? What are you doing? Oh, she leaves me. She goes, sees the kids every weekend, leaves me with Grandpa. She's not always home, slaving away. No, but what do I do before, you know? Give Grandpa showers. I'm preparing things. I'm preparing salads. I'm getting everything ready for when I leave. And most of the time I come back within a couple hours and I'm put right back to work. You know what I mean? Dan's going to Nigeria to meet his lover. No, they don't, Tamara. I think he does, Susan, but I don't think he's jealous. Dan's not really a jealous type. Dan, I think he's amazed, you know, like he told the production company, you know, when they were here a couple weeks back. He said, you know, I have followers, but Danielle has a pack. You know, she has followers that really, you know, she gets to know them. She's different than me. She puts the time, the effort into building relationships with people. Dan doesn't have that. He doesn't have that ability to build. Salingers don't have the ability to have depth, you know, close friends. They don't have that. And I'm the opposite. When I worked, I took the time to PR. That's all I did. Talk to the parents, develop relationships with them, let them see who I was as a person, to have their kids be entrusted with me and my workers, right? My caregivers. So that's what I do here. When I started social media, I knew it was going to be a lot of work for me because I take the time, right? I take the time to comment. I take the time to get to know my regulars. I take the time and I invest in my people and my platform. Dan doesn't like that, right? Because it takes time away from him. And I don't think he begrudges me for it, right? But we're just different. He doesn't have the energy to put in like I do, because that's just the way I do things. I always make it more work for me. You know what I mean? And it's just not everybody's built the same way, you know? Everybody parents differently. Everybody's personalities are different. Everybody handles situations differently. I don't begrudge him for those things. He does have his best friends from high school that he still talks to. But other than that, my friends are his friends. I'm the one who makes the friends, you know? And invites people into his life, from social media even, you know, when we met people. It's me, because that's just my nature. That's my personality. I'm a social butterfly. I've typically always been. I mean, I'm a homebody now, but I'm very social with you guys. So that's me, and I think sometimes, you know, he always gets, people fuck with him all the time because, you know, you guys see more, you hear more, you know, I say more, and he doesn't get protected like I do. So it's funny because he's like, she's got her posse, nobody protects me, they all just protect Danielle, don't mess with them. Yeah, Ed doesn't know how, but Susan, you have to realize too that who was Dan raised by? You know, even though he really wasn't raised by Ed during that time, he doesn't connect. Like, he's really good with his clients. He's really good with his clients. He's a great lawyer. He gives his clients his telephone number. He connects with them differently. And I think that's why. I think he doesn't have the capacity like I have. Honestly. It's just the way it is. Honestly, that's just the way it is. But, you know, I hate to say it, but like, his whole family is like that. Brooke, Andrew has something called IgA nephropathy. IgA nephropathy. It's a kidney disease. So IgA, we all have. IgA are like our soldiers to protect us from viruses. He overproduces them. He overproduces. It's almost like having an immune system that is way too powerful. So he overproduces, and it makes it hard for the kidneys to filter out. So, yeah, I'm very open about that. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's very important to talk about those things, because by me speaking about those things, a lot of people have come forward. Oh, I was just diagnosed with IgA, or my kid has IgA, my grandson, and I love that. I mean, we are all more relatable, you know what I mean, than we even realize. People just don't always give it a chance. And so it's really important, I think, for me, right? And the platform, and what I like to do with my platform is to connect, to be honest, and to talk about the things that are real, you know, life, troubles, issues with parents, loved ones, friends, whatever, foes. It's the reality of life, and menopause and all the shit that comes with it. I don't think anything should be, you know, people have their doses of what they want to remain private, and that's fine. But I feel like we teach through our experiences. And we show compassion and vulnerabilities with being honest and being direct and being to the point and not being ashamed. I'm not ashamed of anything that I share, right? People are always like, you share too much. For who? For who? You think I share too much, but I'm not sharing anything that I don't want to share, right? My kid gets IgA infusions every 21 days. Oh, yeah. So, Sadie, that's right. Your child doesn't produce enough. Yes. Thank you, Brooke. And that's how I think I gain a majority of my support, is through connecting with you guys and connecting with similarities and personalities and certain, I'm trying to see if that's a cat or a turkey. I think it's a turkey. Similarities and experiences and menopause and the shit we're going through and husband irritation and, you know, family irritation and everything. It's there, it's real. And I'm not ashamed to talk about it. I'm not ashamed to talk about it. I'm not ashamed to talk about my problems with my husband. I'm not ashamed to talk about my differences with friends or the family, right? People just are ashamed and they think certain things should be remain private. Yes, I agree to a certain extent, but if it affects me and I cope by communicating with it and maybe sharing an observation or something, I think it can help somebody else. So that's my theory behind it all. Bye, Tamara. Have a good one. And that's it. That's just plain and simple. There's nothing more to it or less to it than that. It's just the way I am. I've always been that way. And I don't really know how I got that way. I think my mom was just a very honest person with me. I think my mom was just own your shit. I think my mom was always a own your shit type of a person. Don't be ashamed of anything you do. Don't be ashamed for your mistakes. Don't be ashamed for your choices. If you don't like them, if you fall on your face, pick yourself back up and try again. You know? Where's my, and I think that was my mom's mentality. You know, the older I get, you know, the more I forget, and it really makes me sad. But at the same time, the person I am today is the person she raised. And I think she was always she wasn't like me in so many ways. Like, I'm a reactor. My mom was never a reactor. She's like Andrew. She's very calm. She's very collected. And she's very like, we will get through this. You know, I'm not happy about it, but we will get through it and we will prevail and learn how to cope better. And so that's how my mom was. You know, I became neurotic. I don't know why. I think her death. But I don't remember being so neurotic as I was after her death. Bye, Shelly. Have a good one. I think she would be, Brooke. I really do. As much as I miss her and as much as I wish she were here, I think, you know, of course I wouldn't be doing some of the things that I'm doing today if she were here, right? Let's be real. Deanna's not. Susan, I don't think that's a bashing. I think that's just truth, you know? He's not as vulnerable. He doesn't put himself in those situations where I put myself in those situations more because I think it makes me real and believable, right? And relatable. And I think there are times where he's vulnerable, but he's very like guarded. He's very guarded. Dan, I think, is very guarded. And I think that stems from his childhood. You know, my psychological, you know, I believe that. I believe I believe a lot of his things are from his childhood, as most are, right? All of our traumas and all of our issues as adults stem from our childhood trauma. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't make him, and that's what I was explaining to my aunt the other day. You know, kids have expectations, right? Kids are born into this world and they have expectations in us, right? They don't necessarily think that they have the expectations, but as they get older, they realize they did expect us to be different, right? They expected us to be certain ways as a parent, whether or not who they saw or what they saw in their environment from others is what they wanted. They place this pressure on us. And sometimes they hold it against us later in life for not being what they expected us to be to them. Now, of course, you can't have expectations in people other than yourself, right? Because you're going to get disappointed. You're going to get disappointed. I've learned to stop expecting Dan to be different or expecting Dan to be better because in certain things around the house, because it's not important to him. So he will never go out of his way for me because it's not something he thinks about, and he's ADHD and literally is like scatterbrain.
Yeah, Donna, I don't know. He's very protective, in so many ways. But like I tell my kids, Andrew doesn't hold any hate or negativity towards his dad. He just says that's dad. I mean, who the fuck cares? He has to live with himself. Hannah's just frustrated with him. She appreciates him, but at the same time is frustrating. Jennifer's just mad because she wanted a dad. She wanted Dan to be what I was to her, right? She expected that, but I'm trying to explain to her that you can't, that's a you problem, right? Dad couldn't give any more than he gave. Just because he wasn't hands on like I was in the center of everything you guys did doesn't mean he didn't love you any less. It just means that was what he could give, financially. You got support. You got a roof over your head. You were allowed to travel with soccer. You were allowed to play competitive soccer. Those are the things he was good at. He let me do the things that I was better at and that I was spectacular at because he couldn't do those things. He didn't have the capability. His brain made him inept to do those things. By Janet. And so that's why I try to explain them. Like, you can't get mad at somebody for expectations you had for them. He's your dad through and through. And anytime you're in a pickle, who steps up to the plate? It doesn't make him love you any less. He loves you, but this is just the way he knows how to love. And everybody's like, that's bullshit. He could change if he wanted to. Maybe he could change if he had the fortitude to do it. And if he had, but I think he got lucky with me, right? He got lucky with somebody who family was the center of her universe. Family was, she had this role model on both sides, my dad's side and my mom's side, that family was always together. Family was the most important. You were involved and you were front and center with everything. That's what I was taught. That's what I saw on both sides. I couldn't escape. Yeah, I could have probably been somebody different, but my kids were my life, right? And that's the way I showed my love for them. And Dan has never been a hands-on guy. He's never been. But look what happened to him. He was a product of a divorce. His parents divorced. His dad moved in, with a new family several years later. He didn't really see him, right? His mom was in school, and he was just run amok, He took himself to practices. He figured out ways to get where he needed to go because he was on his own, He was on his own. And so a lot of times, like, he'll say things because I enabled my kids, and, he's like, well, I didn't have that. My mom never did that for me. And it's like, well, okay, but my mom did, and I was raised with that mentality is we continue to help until we can't, it wasn't, no, but it wasn't. And that's what's sad is you can't change their perceptions, right? You can only try to, help them understand, but at that point it's their choice whether they want to forgive or not forgive. You know what I mean? And I think it's a crappy way, like, I could sit here and I can blame my dad for so many things, right? And I did for a long time, and I've released that. But I just hope it's not too late. I released it too late. I released my anger against my dad too late. As almost a 50-year-old woman, it took me a long time to realize that he was good enough. In whatever he had and whatever he was able to give, he was good enough. And I wish I told him that. And I wish, I don't want it to be too late for the kids who hold on to grudges. It's not good for anybody, right? Because there's so much you miss out on when you hold a grudge and anger towards something that, maybe he didn't know how to put any more work in because he had a wife that was good. He had a wife that was spectacular. He had a wife that did the things he couldn't do. And so maybe he cheated and stepped back. Maybe he cheated and stepped back because I was so good, and that's what, people just have to look at the things that people are good for. They're pros, and stop looking at all the negative. Yeah. And Virginia, abuse and neglect are completely different than, our family issues. that's a whole different realm. But yes, you got to release. And that's the most important thing. I think healing for the individual, right? At the end of the day, it's us. At the end of the day, we're the one holding on to the baggage and we're the ones getting bogged down from it. That's all we could do, you know? Some of us lately, and that's the problem. That's where my kids are. My kids are, not all of them, but, you know, my kids are at that point where, you know, they're like, well, that's a cop out. You know, that's a cop out. A cop out is not trying to break the mold, you know? A cop out is he could have been better. Yes, he could have. He could have. I'm not arguing that fact. We all could be better, you know? But it just wasn't in the, you know, maybe now as he's older, he would maybe change some things. He probably would, you know, do things differently, but you can't go back in the past. You know, like Dan always says, you need to move forward. Like, I can't go change the shit I did when I was, you know, building a business and starting out, and yeah, put a lot more pressure on you to handle things because you did so good with it, and I couldn't do what you, Dan always said, I can't hold up to your standard. I can't do what you can do. I'm not capable. And my kids don't like that. They're like, well, he chose not to be capable. Okay, well, whatever way you can look at it, that was the way it is. So you could hold a grudge for what you think he should have done or how you think he should have done it, but your dad has always been there. He's always been in your corner. He's always been there, your biggest cheerleader, just not the way you wanted him to be. Just not the way you wanted him to be. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Yeah, but that's the problem, Susan. I've done all I can do. I don't talk about it anymore. You know, and GSR, we all have our limits. And who knows? Maybe at one point, GSR, you'll get to a point when you get old like me, and you might just relinquish it because you'll realize it's better for you, you know? But everybody processes things and everybody does things in their own way. And it took me a long fucking time to learn that. It took me a long fucking time to grow and to recognize the things that I was holding on to that was not healthy for me. Yes, he was taught, and you know it. And Susan, you see that with Ed, right? You see that with Ed, that his biggest concern is providing for his children. Even today, like yesterday, we were going bonkers because Dan told him, and I was like, what the fuck were you telling him that for? That Dan was going to go get a haircut. And he became hyper focused on making sure Dan had enough money, making sure what car Dan was going to take, making sure the car was, you know, gassed up and ready to go, and, you know, all those things. And it was, for us, it was going crazy. But even today, you know, his whole thing is providing and helping his kids, right? It is better to let go. But Susan, I didn't learn that until a couple of years ago. You know, I didn't realize the benefit of letting go from those past issues were to me and my person. So that takes a lot of work to get to. Oh, thanks, Brooke. Like, it's like he wasn't there, but now, yes. And I don't think he realizes that. Like, I don't think Ed you know, in that time, Ed is really myopic too, that he would say, oh, it's ridiculous, he was there for Dan. But he really wasn't. He really wasn't. He really wasn't. So, oh my God, my teeth, they're chipping right in here from my grinding, they're breaking. I don't know what I have to do to get maybe like fake teeth or something. Yeah, I do my little weights. Nothing like I used to do, let me tell you. The body changes, and well, then so does your routine. So yeah, it is what it is, you guys. I just, I think, no, I don't go. I used to do CrossFit for 6 years, but I don't do that. Yeah, and that's okay, GSR. I honestly thought I was the same way. I was so angry with my father, and then he tried to kill himself, and the anger just got worse, and I thought I wasn't capable of ever forgiving him. But that's me. I have bite guards, but they still, I think from all the trauma. Hi, Life. No, I'm early. Hi, Susan. I'm super early this morning. So that's why I have kind of a busy morning with trying to help my sprinkler guy, and I had to get things organized, and I just couldn't sleep. And now Dan's with his mom, so I hope all is well. I hope I can go to my appointment. I might have to cancel if he's not back in time, which could be trouble. So I'll have to touch base with him. I do too. I don't know what they're gonna do, if he's gonna call 911, but if he is gonna be there, I might have to call her and just cancel my appointment and tell her that Dan had an emergency with his mom and he had to leave, which would suck for me, because then I'm not gonna be able to have lunch with my friend. But it is what it is. It happens, right? I don't know. She just called and said that she wasn't feeling good, so Dan went over there. Tell me your story. I don't know. I just went potty at 5 and I couldn't fall back asleep. That's only 15 pounds. I need to go up a little bit more, but I don't know really how to work these weights. It was by luck that I got them to be worked this way. Thanks, Twyla. I know, and I think it's fun. GSR is the funniest, cleverest responder to the trolls on YouTube. She gives me giggles like no other. So I hope you guys enjoy her diatribes. I'll put him and his brother on a plane saying, "Oh shit, Sadie, really?" Was just like, bye. Maybe I should do that to Dan, send him on a plane to somebody. Who could I send him to? He's yours, take him. Do not return to sender. Oh my God, but you make me giggle. I like wish I was that clever. You come up with shit and I'm like, I don't even understand, but that's funny. I know. I really wanted to go to Nigeria. Oh, that's a good one. Send him to Nigeria. Rebecca, you don't want him. I need to call him because I'm going to have to cancel my appointment sooner rather than later, because typically I'm her first appointment and then I'll get charged. Fuck. What did Dan do? What does Dan not do? Marilyn Blueberry, you guys. That was the funniest shit. I mean, he laughs at himself when he comes up with ideas. Send her to the Dan hater. Linda Davy. Linda, are you here? Dan's coming over. Yeah. Would I ever do a marathon? No. Has he washed the windows? No. And he will never wash the windows. Let's be real. You guys, he's full of shit. Dan is one thing. He's full of shit. He will never do that. I mean, for 18 years I've been asking him. He's good. He did have people going, but he just giggles so much at himself. He thinks he's funnier than I think he is. Thanks, Christine. I appreciate it. All right, you guys, I'm going to do some benching and then I'm going to get busy. I got some shit to do before the sprinkler guy gets here, and I got to figure out if I'm able to go to my appointment or not. So, hang tight. Remember, you are important, you are worthy, and you matter. Remember, your feelings are yours. Boundaries are so important to set for yourself and for your growth. Do not let people rain on your parade. Hold your head up high and keep marching forward. Love you guys. I will see you later at TikTok. If everything is fine today, I will do my subscriber live. Don't forget. Yeah, subscriber live tonight for TikTok. As long as all is well. You know what I mean? Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Some of you later.